We've all heard of the evil stepmother, but have you heard of an evil stepfather? Because in this case, we have Mr. Hunt over here suing his stepson for damages to a property he was letting him live in. Now, while the stepfather claims that it was rent-free, you'd be calling this kid Cinderella with how much housework he was doing.
After Stephen graduated college, my wife and I invited him to live in our guest house rent-free as he transitioned to adulthood. I had one requirement during this time that he was a part of our household, was just to do basic chores. Cleaning the pool, weeding, mowing the lawn. And that would be been enough for me. But he didn't choose, it was a lesson in responsibility. But he didn't choose that. He chose entitlement. And his entitlement was just too much for me over time. It culminated in over $2,000 of repairs to my wife's car, the destruction of the carpet in the guest house. And am I here today as an adult? There's financial responsibility when you break something.
How did he destroy the carpet in the guest house?
Well, he has a girlfriend that visits him often, and she has a very rude dog that is misbehaved, that yaps, that leaves fecal matter all over my lawn, and is inside chewing up the carpet.
Okay. And how long did this take place?
It's for the past 11 months.
Oh, for 11 months he's been living there.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And what about the car? How did the car damage take place?
There's a car that is parked in the garage. Our garage is relatively small. It's very close confines. We all know this, but he admitted that he ran into a cement wall. He claims that it was...
He ran into a cement wall in the garage?
Yes. He backed into the cement wall.
Oh, okay.
And
Your Honor,
then,
it's not his car.
I heard you. It's his wife's car and
Yes,
your
Your
mother's
Honor.
car
Yes, Your Honor.
that you were driving.
Yes, Your Honor.
So the fact that it doesn't belong to him, is you saying that he doesn't have a right to make a claim about it because it's not his car, or that you didn't damage it?
Well, I think
or
the
because
dispute
it's your
should be
mother's
settled.
car, you can damage it and you don't have any consequences.
Well, Your Honor,
what
I
you're
think
saying.
the dispute should be settled between me and my mother if it's about her car.
Okay, so your position is that you damaged the car. You're not denying it.
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
But it's your mother's car,
Yes, Your Honor.
not his car.
Yes, Your
So
Honor.
therefore, if anybody was going to sue you for that, should be your mother.
Yes, Your Honor.
So why is he distinguishing that it's his mother's car, not yours? You didn't help her buy that car, is that it?
she did already own the car, but we have been married for 2 years.
Oh, so you're the new stepfather.
I am coming in as the new stepfather, yes.
Whose home is it?
This is my home, and she moved in with me,
Okay,
and he then came shortly after.
okay. He was away at college when you got married. So he was living on the college campus.
Yes.
And now you're out of college and you're at home with your mother and stepfather.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm taking some time to figure out what I'm going to do after.
And I take it that you're not too happy about the situation.
Definitely not, Your Honor.
You don't care too much for your stepfather.
I feel as though he's disrespected me in a lot of ways, Your Honor, yes.
So we got the case of the evil stepson, allegedly. Although, the claims that the father is making, that he backed into the garage, has his girlfriend's dog, leaving fecal matter everywhere, and that he's just basically a lazy, good-for-nothing 20-something-year-old. We haven't heard very many redeeming qualities about this young man as of yet. Now, I am curious to know why his mother isn't in the courtroom today, because I feel like that is kind of a glaring discrepancy in the stepfather's anger towards this kid, because if it really was this kid being such a problem child, so disrespectful, you would think the mom would, be on her husband's side, but she's not taking sides in this case. And I don't know, I think I'm gonna take one out of the mother's playbook and not take sides until I hear both sides of the story.
Well, I feel like respect is a two-way street, and there was a text agreement about no rent being paid and chores having to be done. I have the evidence for that here, if you'd like to see that.
No rent and chores, okay?
Which were done. I went above and beyond with the amount of work that I did. Yard work was even done. There used to be somebody that was paid to do the yard work. I painted the guest house exterior. I power washed the front. I was woken up at 6 a.m. a lot of the time just to do work on the house, and I happily did it. I feel as though the debt's been paid, Your Honor.
But you did it, but you didn't happily do it. You don't even have to put that word in there. Just say I did it.
Right, but I'm
Because
not
I know you
obligated
didn't
to
enjoy
happily
doing
do
all
it.
that power washing and painting and yard work and all of that.
Well, it can be therapeutic sometimes.
It can be, but did you have to do that before your mother married Mr. Hunt?
Well, I always had to do various chores around the house, but I think he saw it as I'm a little older now, so he put a bit of a more of a load on me.
What was the agreement? Let me see it, or you can tell it to me, and if it's not disputed, we're okay with that. So when you came back from college, your mom was married, had moved into your stepfather's home. You had not lived there before, so you moved into the guest house, right?
Correct.
I take it it's in the back of the house.
Correct, yes.
Separated from the house.
Yes.
And let me see what this agreement is you want to tell me about. I want to lay out expectations so our wires aren't crossed. You will not be expected to pay rent, but you will be expected to contribute in other ways. Mainly, that will be household chores as needed. You're an adult, we will treat you as such, but I'm expecting the guest house to be kept tidy. Please text an affirmative so I know you understand these conditions. And your response was, I understand, thank you, Steve. Or when was it decided what chores?
I don't think there was ever a formal agreement made what the chores would be. It was more just whatever Steve says is what goes, and I was told to do certain things at certain times of day, and it was expected to be done, and I did those things.
Okay, so you say you took over the yard work from the gardener.
Yes, yes,
And
Your
the gardener, I suspect, came weekly?
Yes, they were a weekly.
So then that became your chore weekly?
Yes, it
Is
became
it
my
front
duty.
and backyard?
Front and backyard, because
had
the
to
guest
mow the
house is in
lawn?
the back. Yes, Your Honor.
You became the gardener.
Essentially, Your Honor, yes.
I feel like it's a pretty normal thing to have your kid come home after graduating college. That, to me, is normal. And sure, expecting your adult child living rent-free to do some housework for you is also pretty reasonable. However, it almost feels like the stepfather was using this kid as his own personal slave labor. Because it sounds to me like this kid was doing more than your average household chores. Things the stepfather himself probably didn't even do before the kid lived with him. He saw this as his big ticket to getting all those projects done that he never had the energy or desire to do. The stepfather is claiming that he's just treating him like an adult, but it feels more like he's a prisoner in this house with the free rent being dangled over his head. And now, the fact that he didn't do a good enough job with these household chores and property management, he's now suing the kid. I mean, this kid has just graduated college, barely had enough time to get on his own 2 feet, and he's already being taken to court. Nothing says welcome to the family, Dad, like a good old-fashioned family court drama.
The other ones cleaned the pool.
Yes, Your Honor.
How does he maintain the pool? He doesn't know anything about maintaining a pool. You put that on him. He doesn't know about chemicals and how to mix those chemicals in the pool and all of that.
We gave him a brief little walkthrough on how to do all the chores so he could be successful at the chores.
So you gave him a walkthrough.
Yes.
Okay, so you fired the pool man too?
Well, he is the pool man too.
No, did you have a pool
We
person?
also had a pool man, yes. And
But he
we let
became
him
that
go,
person
too.
as well.
Yes, because this now is the pool man, the groundskeeper who's living rent-free in the guest house.
Okay, what else did he have to do?
He has to weed, he has to mow.
Well, weed and mowing is all part of gardening, in my opinion.
He has to tidy up after himself, which he hasn't been.
Tidy up after himself, meaning keeping the
Guest house
the
clean.
guest house clean.
Yes.
And making the bed and mopping the floors and keeping the bathroom clean. That's what you're talking about when you say tidy up behind himself?
Basic tidying up.
Okay, so you went out to the guest house to check on it and see if he had made up his bed and cleaned up everything and washed the dishes and done his. You did that?
I don't enter the place when he's not home, but I have visited him, the guest house, while he's there. And then I have seen through the windows in total disarray.
Okay, when you say total disarray, describe it.
Clothing everywhere, food left out, piles of trash coming out of the garbage can. It's a mess.
Is he right?
Your Honor, it's my living space. I'm not doing damage to the property. He doesn't have a right to inspect my room, my bathroom. As long as I'm not damaging his property, he has absolutely no right to be talking about my living conditions or...
Who told you that?
Well, I just believe that's my right as a tenant.
As a tenant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your right as a tenant is to live comfortably in your space, and your right as a tenant is he cannot go in and out. And your right as a tenant is he's saying it. If he wants to keep a dirty house, he can keep a dirty house.
I don't know, the kid's kinda got a point there. He essentially is being a property manager for his stepdad in exchange for living on the property. For all intents and purposes, he is a tenant who is paying with labor. So if he wants to have his boxers on the floor and dishes in the sink, that isn't exactly something his stepfather can regulate in his living space. I mean, I know there's a few people out there who are extremely type A and keep their space clean all the time and could not have a single thing out of place. But for all of us, normal people, sometimes things pile up. Sometimes you don't feel like doing the dishes. Sometimes the bathroom trash can doesn't get taken out nearly as quick as it should. Because, I don't know, we're all human. And considering this kid is working like 3 jobs that he isn't even properly trained for, I think we can cut him a little bit of slack here.
A dirty house to you may be a clean house to him. If he doesn't want to pick his clothes up, he doesn't have to pick his clothes up. If he doesn't want to hang his clothes up, he doesn't have to hang his clothes up. If he doesn't want to wash dishes every night, he doesn't have to wash dishes every night. That's the way you live. But you gave him the guest house to live in, and as living in that, he can do that. And he is a tenant. He's not paying dollars as a tenant, but he's paying chores in exchange for his tenancy. So you have to respect his tenancy rights in terms of the way he lives. He can't destroy the property, and you're not supposed to be peeking in.
Look, we have standards at the house. His mom would agree to this. Tidying up after himself was a part of the verbal agreement
You didn't tell me that.
that we had
You didn't tell me that.
before he moved in.
You didn't say that. The agreement that in exchange for you moving in, you will be staying in our guest house. There's nothing that says tidy up. You say, I expect it to be kept tidy. Tidy differs from person to person. What you perceive as tidy may not be what I perceive as tidy. And when you live in a space that you're paying rent for, under the law, you have a right to live in a manner that's less than tidy if you so choose. You don't get to decide what's tidy.
But this is not your typical tenant situation.
No, it's not a question of typical tenancy. It's a question of tenancy. There's no such thing as typical. Yes, you're the guest. It's the guest house and you own the house, but you're renting it to him. And in exchange for him living there, instead of paying dollars for rent, he has to do certain things around the property.
Yes, and he's
it's no
made
more
agreements.
than if you had hired your live-in maid and the maid lives in that house but has other chores for you. You can't go inside that house and tell the maid or the housekeeper or the groundskeeper, if one of them was living in the property, how they lived inside. That's all I'm telling you.
But
You
that is
wanted
not-
it to be different, but
The level of tidiness is not why I'm here today.
okay, I'm sure it isn't.
If it's not why you're here today, then why do you keep bringing it up? It's things like this that makes you realize when you are dealing with family members, there is just a level of respect that goes out the window. People think that they can cross boundaries left and right just because you're family. Mind you, this kid is hardly family considering he's known you all of, 2 years, and majority of that time you guys weren't spending any time together, and now you're over here acting like a drill sergeant, peeking in his windows at the wee hours of the morning, seeing that his boxers are on the ground and the trash is overflowing. At ease, soldier. Next thing you know, this guy's gonna be waking him up to the sound of a trumpet and demanding that he strip down naked. Honestly, I don't know what they do in the military. I'm just going off of things that my boyfriend has told me of his time in the Marine Corps. And, it sounds like just the most unpleasant experience. But all I can imagine is this stepfather trying to assert his dominance because this kid comes living in his home and he's got to show him who the master of the house is.
Now, what about the damage to the mother's car? He's right about that. You can't sue for damages to her car. That's her car.
I paid out of pocket to fix those damages.
That's between you and her.
Yes, and we have agreed
She's not here.
that
She's not here.
we are married and
You're
all
married.
of the finances I take care
Community
of.
property, but that's not community property. She owned that property before she married you. That's why I asked the question. That's not community property.
Yes, but
And so it's okay for her and that you pay for it and that's you all agreement. But since she's the one who holds title to that property and she's not here, and I don't see a written statement for her saying that you're suing on her behalf, I can't order him to repay you for repairing the property damage caused to her car. How much was that?
it was $2,000.
Oh, that's the property damage to her
Yes.
car.
Yes.
Okay. No, I can't order him to repay that. And you've now moved out, right?
Yes, Your Honor, I left.
Now, the carpeting, yes. What's the damage in terms of the carpeting?
The carpet estimate repair was $600.
Okay, now, back to my right to live like I want to. You can't tear up his property. You can't destroy it. You can't tear up the carpeting with the dog or anything else. So if you destroyed the carpeting and it cost $600 to replace it or to repair it once you moved out, he's entitled to that.
The carpet was already worn and damaged before I moved in.
Show me the
He
pictures.
had already made references.
Show me that it was worn and damaged before you moved in.
He had already made references to me repairing the carpet before any of the damage that he alleged had even been done. That was going to be one of my jobs.
Well, that's not what I see here on the paper that you presented to me. It says nothing about repairing the carpeting. It says nothing about cleaning up the carpeting. If there's carpeting in the place when you moved in and now it's torn, I think we have a picture of it, damaged. And did your girlfriend have a dog?
My girlfriend did have a dog.
And did her dog chew up and make those?
He has no evidence that the dog ever made those marks, but the dog was there and did stay at the house multiple times. So the dog could have possibly made some of those marks.
Where's your evidence of the manner in which the carpeting was when he moved in?
I do not have those photos, but I will say that it is a homeowner and not a house guest that decides when renovations.
No. As the homeowner, you can decide when renovations take place, but as the homeowner, you can't decide when to charge the guests with the cost of the renovations. You have to establish that the guest in this place, in this instance, tenant, caused the damage to the property that was above normal wear and tear. And the only way I can establish that he caused the damage above normal wear and tear is that you can show me some before and after.
I don't have the before.
You don't have any befores?
No.
How convenient, Mike. Oh, I'm sorry. Your name's not Mike? My mistake. He does kind of come off as a Mike Hunt, right?
Oh, no.
Just me? Alright. That dog could have very well made that damage. However, there is really no evidence of said damage. And if the kid really was going to put the right foot forward with his new stepfather, claim those damages because of his girlfriend's dog, he should pay that money. Now, of course, the stepfather hasn't exactly made the best impression on his new stepson, and they don't seem to get along very well. So the moment this kid was able to get out of there, of course, he's going to deny any responsibility for any damages in the property. And since Mr. Hunt over here doesn't have any evidence, I'm sorry, bud, I don't think you're gonna get that money.
Usually the tenant, when you start a tenancy, the person moves in, you look at the carpeting and all of this, whatever you're providing, they have to sign a piece of paper that said, I agree with the condition of the house, and this is the condition of the house when I moved in. So you can charge them when the condition of the house after they leave is different than what it was when they moved in.
Yes.
As a homeowner, that's what you have to do if you're going to rent property out. I know you didn't call this a rental. You call this helping out her son. Mm-hmm. But you're trying to charge him as a tenant. So I have to apply tenancy law. And tenancy law is if you want to claim reimbursement for damages done to the property, I have to see a before and after damage to know that it was caused during his tenancy. You got me?
I hear you, yeah.
See, you went into this as I'm helping my wife's son, but then you created it and you made it a tenant agreement because in exchange for rent, you said these were his chores. So now he's a tenant and entitled to all the same benefits of a tenant.
Yes, and there's some unforeseen consequences having him as a tenant.
Yeah.
And having him,
as there are unforeseen consequences for any tenant,
take responsibility for this damage that he's responsible for.
I can't make him take responsibility for it. Maybe between you and his mother you can, but as a judge I can't because you haven't established that he caused the damage.
Which I didn't, Your Honor.
Well, we have evidence,
photographs. I have a photograph that says there's damage to the carpet.
Yes.
Who do I know? How do I know who caused the damage to the carpet?
That chewed up carpet was not chewed up before.
How do I know that?
You don't.
Right. How do I know it wasn't chewed up when he moved in? How do I know what condition the carpeting was in when he moves in? You want to tell me? You want to be honest? Are you going to admit that your girlfriend's dog or that you or the carpeting became in that manner after you moved in?
The truth is, Steve would rather throw the blame on me because he sees me as irresponsible and in some ways he doesn't respect me. So it's easier for him to say that I caused that damage than to simply repair it himself and take the fee on himself.
That's what I expected you to say.
Well,
I
it's the
didn't
truth,
think
Your
you'd
Honor.
take responsibility. You admitted that she had a dog. You admitted the dog came over, and dogs do that kind of stuff. But the only reason I'm not charging you with it is because he can't prove, that what condition it was in before. I'm sorry. I kind of, my gut feeling says that he probably caused it, or the dog, but I can't charge him with things based on my gut feeling. It's called evidence and proof. All right?
All right.
So, judgment for the defendant.
Stephen, I think respect is a two-way street.
I think moving forward, it would be great if we could move to a better place, but you have to be responsible for your actions.
Listen, buddy, I know you want things to move in a better direction, but the first step of that probably would have been not taking your stepson to court. Because you can't claim, oh, I'm just helping a family member out, and then also take him to court over it. Expect him to be treated like a tenant, and then also claim that you're just helping out your wife's son. If you really wanted to have a good relationship with your stepson, you probably shouldn't have sued him. And he's right. Respect does go both ways. And he obviously didn't feel respected by you. You obviously don't feel respected by him. But that could have been, fixed with a simple conversation. But it seems like not even Judge Maybelline herself can thaw that cold heart of yours. Hopefully you guys do move in a better direction, because if you're going to be in his mother's life, then you're going to be in his life too. And nobody likes an awkward holiday. But I'm curious to know your thoughts on this case. Do you think the stepdad had every right to sue his stepson? Do you think the son is responsible to pay for the carpet damages? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Leave a like and a follow, and I'll see you guys next time.